It was July 19th, 2025. It was so hot. It was really hot. It's the dead of summer, and then all the ovens were on, so it was probably 80 degrees inside and horrible.
That's Erin Vandre, who 3 years ago became an Army spouse and moved to Southern Pines, North Carolina. It was during that move that Erin decided she would do something she had always wanted to do: start her own business. She and her husband, Nicholas Vandre, had started selling cookies to friends and family. And after that became an overwhelming success, Erin realized she wanted to take it to the next level and started her own bakery. She put months into the planning of what would become Bravery Bakehouse. Not only did she come up with the delicious menu, but she put a lot of time into the look and feel of the place.
So it is like a World War II theme, but also modern. And there's World War II pictures, there's brass accents, and then there's 40s music playing. So I always have fresh flowers just because it's a nice environment. And it's beautiful.
Erin was nervous, but had a lot of help that day. Some was expected, and others a surprise.
My mom flew out from California. My sisters both flew out from California. I had 3 cousins show up. One of them I hadn't seen in probably 20 years. 2 of my aunts came. Both of my daughters, the 14-year-olds, were working up front. It was it was really, really touching to see my whole family come out and support. My mom walked in and looked at the place and just started crying. I'll never forget all of them showing up for me.
The bakehouse was slated to open up officially at 10 o'clock. But an hour before that, a huge line of people showed up. More people than Erin had ever expected. They all stood outside in the heat, enjoying the experience. And then...
we had been running the ovens all night and the day before to make sure we had enough baked, and
the oven just completely shut down.
Couldn't turn it on, nothing. It just shut down with everything in it. That caused some of the
cinnamon roll goo to melt over and just scorch.
Whole building was filled with smoke when everyone walked in. We had no cinnamon rolls. My head baker was on the ground banging on the ovens, crying, bawling her eyes out, banging on the ovens like it was going to turn them back on. So it was pretty rough. We didn't have any cinnamon rolls for most of the day. We tried to throw some in later, but yeah.
Everyone inside started to panic. Someone jumped on top of the oven. Some tried to fan the smoke. But Erin, she allowed herself to get upset for a brief second before deciding she needed to roll with it. She knew this was all part of starting a business. Months earlier, she had taken part in a unique business fellowship program for military veterans and spouses. Run by the Washington-based Dog Tag Bakery, the program taught lessons and skills to aspiring entrepreneurs. In that moment, Erin remembered one of the key lessons she had learned.
That was a big lesson in, especially one of my leadership classes, was just that you have to be willing to just keep going and to change. And everyone was looking to me for leadership, and it was my first time doing this too. So I really had to keep it together when normally I would have been crying on the floor too. But because I knew that people were counting on me for their almost emotional reactions, I had to really just make sure that I was grounded.
So Erin went into pivot mode, picked her baker off the floor, and got her team together. They moved sweets into the other oven. They started handing out free samples to the customers in line. And when Erin and her husband went up to make a speech to everyone, they played up the humor of it all, stating that there's a reason it was a soft opening. The day didn't go as she hoped it would, but Erin still considers it a huge success.
When I saw everyone in the community come out, people taking pictures and standing around inside my small storefront, talking to each other and laughing, and the music, and being able to watch that from the back and see people out there happy, eating my stuff, enjoying it, laughing. That was the whole reason I created the place. So it was really special to see that.
In 2014, a military spouse and a priest, both avid bakers, wanted to create a fun, welcoming place that could help out transitioning veterans. They started Dog Tag Bakery, a Washington cafe that would not only serve treats, but also host a business incubator program. In the last 11 years, almost 400 military veterans, spouses, and caregivers have graduated and made major contributions to their communities, as well as the country. In today's episode, our hosts sit down with Maureen Devine-Ahl, Dog Tag Bakery's Director of Programs and Community Impact, alongside Bravery Bakery's Erin Vandre, to discuss the various lessons the bakery teaches its fellows, how each of them got to where they are, and yes, some of their favorite sweet treats. I'm Carrie Varohaikis. My favorite sweet is cherry pie, and this is Army Matters.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Army Matters. I am your co-host, the 15th Sergeant Major of the Army, retired Dan Dailey. And I'm here with my best buddy in the whole world.
Your Inspector General, Lieutenant General, retired Leslie C. Smith.
You're very tactically patient.
Formal.
in your responses. Yes, like I'm
reading a script or something.
Yeah, you know, we owe our listeners a good episode today.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I want you to put forth a little bit more effort into this one.
Really? So you're saying I don't put an effort in?
All I'm saying is, I didn't say you didn't put enough in. Since this is the end of the year episode, right? I just want you to put a little more into this one.
Okay, today. Okay. All right, Daniel.
Les, I got a question for you. What's your favorite baked treat?
Oh, that's easily. Chocolate cake.
Are you a chocolate cake guy?
I love it because I know you like chocolate cake too.
That's not my favorite, though.
What's your favorite?
My mom used to make us peanut butter cookies. I love peanut butter cookies.
Ooh.
Peanut butter.
Oh, I can just see them on the stove right now. Yeah. Did
yeah,
you used
right.
to lick the bowl?
Oh, and the spoon. Mom, that was like a big deal for us. That was like a big deal.
Yeah,
My mom would be like, "Who wants to lick the bowl? I want to lick the bowl." And well, you got to eat them right when they come off the cookie sheet. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. Yeah,
Mom wouldn't even
right.
be able to put them. But she had 4 boys. She wouldn't be able to put them away.
Yeah.
I mean that.
Right.
As soon as they came out of the oven, we would just be.
I can only imagine. So, what was your breakfast time like with 4 boys in the house?
Oh, we were always in a rush because my dad worked 2 jobs. My mom worked, and she was like rushing. We used to make fun of Mom because she burnt everything, but we still ate it. Yeah, so
Yeah, of course you did. What about on the weekends when nobody was working? Let's say Saturday morning breakfast.
My dad would make big breakfast. We call it big breakfast. So he would.
Okay.
I mean, he'd make a whole pan of scrambled eggs and sausage and toast.
Nice.
You know? Yeah, and then he would wake us up.
And
with,
it didn't
with reveille. I swear to God, he would run upstairs. And
You're
say,
kidding me.
Yep. At like 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. And our grandparents' house, they made, those homemade biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Homemade biscuits. And my brother and I used to compete to see who could eat the most biscuits. I think I ate 10 at one time.
Well, can I give you a little bit of advice for your New Year's resolution?
Yeah. Don't eat a lot of cookies.
Don't eat 10 biscuits. Don't eat 10
I can't do it now, bro. I can't. My body couldn't take it. But as a young guy, what did you do all day? Play all day long?
Oh yeah, yeah. You could eat anything and never get a pound.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
you could.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. The reason why we're talking about baking today is because we're profiling a bakery that not only serves some pretty good pastries and coffees, but created a program for veterans, for spouses and caregivers to reach their goals. What do you think about that? Not only do they bake, they help people set goals and objectives.
Like Ricky Bobby says, the shake and bake.
No, not quite like Ricky Bobby.
Not quite like Ricky Bobby.
You're killing me.
Shake and bake.
Take it back.
Why don't we bring them on the show, our guests?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maureen, Erin, welcome to Army Matters.
Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Go Army.
That's right. We already beat the Air Force.
Sorry, Maureen.
It's all right. I'm just here to class up the joint today. So.
Oh, snap.
Ooh, shots
Whoa.
fired.
Okay.
So, ladies, before we begin, could each of you take just a few moments to introduce yourselves to our listeners?
Sure. My name is Maureen Devine-Ahl. I am the Director of Programs and Community Impact at Dog Tag, Inc. I'm a military spouse myself. I'm an Air Force spouse of 10 plus years at this point in time. And I've been working at Dog Tag since 2022, overseeing the program that Erin went through, as well as all of our alumni programming and impact measurement as well. So,
Nice.
that's me.
Excellent.
Hey,
Erin.
Hey, yeah, go ahead, Erin. I got a follow-on question to ask about that, too. Go ahead, Erin.
My name is Erin Vandre. I am a Army spouse. I am the founder of Bravery Bakehouse, and we are in Southern Pines, North Carolina. And I did just go through the dog tag program a little over a year ago.
So, can we go through the dog tag program?
Well, we go through a rigorous application process, not going to lie, but as long as you are veterans, spouses, or caregivers, then yes, we welcome your application and your shot to come on over and
Do
spend
we
time
have
with
to
us.
be able to cook?
No, actually. So
Okay.
we use our bakery like a living business school. So that's our business, but we use it as a training ground for any kind of business you might want to create. So Erin created a bakery, but we have had fellows create coaching and consulting businesses, t-shirt businesses, woodworking businesses, all sorts of businesses.
So since both of you are in bakeries, we're going to start with something fun. I'd like to start off by asking you each a question. What is your favorite baked treat to eat? And what is your favorite to bake?
Well, it really depends on the season for me. I can start with what I like to bake. I'm actually way down a rabbit hole on baking sourdough bread right now. That's a couple years in the making. So yeah, I've gotten pretty good at it. Just had some for lunch today. But yeah, I don't know. My whole family has baked forever. My mom always had fresh baked goods in the house. And so my favorite baked good definitely depends on sort of the season. But you can always get me with like a nice, probably chocolate fudgy multi-layer cake with, some chocolate chips and some raspberry sauce to go with it.
So that's your eat. That's your eat, not your bake.
I'll usually say yes for that.
Okay. Erin.
I am obsessed with cinnamon rolls. Like every day I eat them at work. You walk in and we have two bakers and they're already making the cinnamon rolls. So, I mean, they're big, they're gooey, they're ridiculous looking.
Low calorie.
Yeah, super low calorie,
cal-
gluten-free, all the frees. I love them. And for baking, I think cookies, probably just because I've been doing it the longest. I'm really trying to learn how to make candy right now. So that's like my new thing. That's been fun.
Okay, cool.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing and background. And Erin, let's start with you. Can you tell us about your grandfather's service in World War II
Yes.
and what happened to him during a fateful 1944 mission in Holland?
Yes, I would love to. So he was a 1st Allied Airborne Army. I believe he retired as a colonel, but he flew in the Operation Market Garden. And he was one of the first planes in to drop some paratroopers over into Holland. And he successfully completed that mission on the first day. And then they came out the second day. I believe they were towing gliders. And they were flying low, so they ended up getting shot, and the glider broke off, and the plane caught fire, and they had to have an emergency landing. And they hid in a farmhouse until the German soldiers had passed looking for them. So my dad actually went back to Holland and was able to see the farmhouse that they were hidden in like 5 years ago or something.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. Now let's go to you, Maureen. Both of your grandfathers served in World War II. Now, what, if anything, did they tell you about their experiences first?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had as much detail as Erin has. I would say my grandparents were maybe on the opposite side of the spectrum where they did not talk much about their service at all. And so there's a few stray pictures of them in uniform that I have seen. There's one picture of my one grandfather in like a grass skirt and a coconut bra. So that must have been like the Follies night or whatever, which matches, who I knew him to be. But they didn't talk much about their service. It was just sort of that thing that everybody had to do around that time. And then they came home and lived out the rest of their lives. But I'm grateful, neither of them had physical injuries or any sort of mental health issues that presented in my lifetime. So we've always just gotten to acknowledge and celebrate their service. But as I've grown older, I wish I did know more about it, but I don't know tremendously much about it.
Well, let's talk about military spouses. Both of you are military spouses now. And Maureen, your husband was active duty Air Force, and now he's in the reserves. So what do you think about becoming a military spouse when you first did it? And what was the most challenging part for you?
I had no idea what I was getting into. Zero at all. Yeah, my husband had always been interested in public service. I thought maybe it was going to be, in the local government or whatnot. And he kind of came home one day and said, I've got this opportunity for the military instead. And I was like, what would that look like? Right. And mostly we just talked about it would look like relocating. And at the time I don't even think we were married yet. We had a dog and that was it. And I was kind of like, okay, I'm always up for an adventure. But yeah, I think, I underestimated what I was signing up for sure. So we moved. Our first duty station was in Goldsboro, North Carolina, which was truly maybe the most middle of nowhere I've ever lived. I mean, I quit my job and we moved, and I was lucky to find a new job when we landed there. But I was commuting an hour one way each day. So 2 hours of commuting to be able to keep my career going. We had our daughter there. And again, thankfully she was healthy and that was an okay experience. But at the same time, it was a small town and a small community, not a lot of other new moms. And so it was a little bit isolating at times. And it's only been in the years after that I think I realized how much momentum maybe I lost in having to kind of quit those jobs every few years. I've definitely recalibrated how I talk about it as an asset, right? And not a detriment. But if I had an opportunity to talk to me circa 2009, I would be like, buckle up. You have no idea what you're getting into.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So for you, Erin, you became an Army spouse 3 years ago
Yes.
when you married Nicholas Vandre,
Yes.
a special ops officer. So
Yes.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So what's been the hardest part of becoming part of an Army family?
Really, I didn't think it was going to be that hard because it was at the tail end of his career. He retired in January after 25 years. And, it's true what they say that there's a big transition that goes when you leave that chapter of your life. And it's been hard to watch him struggle with that and trying to find his structure on his own and find meaning and purpose and to chase that. But this town we're in Southern Pines, and it's a huge military town. It's a huge special forces town. And the women here are just incredible. They've been very welcoming to me coming from California and moving into this also small town. I came from San Diego, so it's like this tiny, to me, town. And the military spouse community has been extremely supportive, and they've lifted me up with my company from day one. How can I support you? And it's really an honor to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Now, Maureen, can you tell us a bit more about how Dog Tag Bakery got started?
We started about 11 years ago at this point in time. Two co-founders had the vision of, creating a place that could be both a training ground for military connected individuals, but also a place of transition and community. So today we run a 5-month fellowship program. You're in the program every day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You're with a cohort of fellow individuals who are going through some sort of life transition. That might be a professional transition out of the military. We have a lot of spouses whose spouse is going through a professional transition out of the military. And this is the first time that maybe they have the opportunity to choose what they want to do. But our program blends academic training. You earn a certificate in business while you're in the program, along with hands-on training at our bakery. So we use our bakery like a living business school. We teach you about our products and our finances and how we run our business. but then everybody also completes a capstone business project where they develop a business idea of their own. My goal is not necessarily to produce successful entrepreneurs, although I love that outcome. What I want to produce is people who feel really confident in the choice that they're making moving forward, and that they have a toolkit and a supportive community to turn to pursue whatever that choice may be.
Excellent. So, Maureen, I don't think you mentioned, how did you get involved with Dog Tag Bakery? What brought you to them?
Yeah. I've had a long career in the nonprofit space. I owned my own business right before joining Dog Tag. And in that business, during COVID, I found myself in an interim CEO role, which meant I had to go sort of deeper than I had with one organization in a long time. Usually consultants kind of bounce around and serve multiple clients, not as deeply. And I realized how much I missed being part of like a larger mission and a larger team. So I threw it out to the universe. I said, hey, universe, like I might go back in-house for the right place. And then I kid you not, 3 weeks later, this role at Dog Tag landed in my inbox. And I was like, okay, universe, I see you. A place that honors my military connection, my personal love for baking and baked goods, and also offers a program that I genuinely had experience in being able to oversee. So that was almost 4 years ago now, and the rest is history.
Wow. So how many entrepreneurs have been through the program to date?
Yeah. We just graduated our most recent cohort a couple of weeks ago. And so now we have 381 people who have graduated from our program, and we're really proud about that. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, did you get your AUSA merch yet? Check out our online selection at shop.ausa.org.
If you're transitioning out of the military or looking to hire exceptional talent, don't miss the Society of American Military Engineers 2026 Career Transition Workshop, where you will find your fit. Job seekers gain access to resume and LinkedIn reviews, one-on-one mentoring from industry professionals who have successfully transitioned, education sessions, and recruiter interviews with a wide range of companies related to the engineering, architecture, and construction space. The virtual program begins January 13, leading up to the on-site event in Linthicum Heights, Maryland, February 11 through 13, 2026. Registration is free for SAME members, and thanks to their foundation, travel and lodging stipends are available for select participants. Recruiting companies. This is your chance to connect with proven leaders from junior to senior officers and enlisted retirees. Learn more and register today at same.org/event/CTW.
Welcome back to Army Matters. Now, Erin, I have a question for you. I was told that your business journey started off with a family chocolate cake recipe. Could you tell us about that?
And by the way, Erin, chocolate cake is my favorite, so I really do like you now.
Oh, I make a good one. I do have to say. So my mom is Italian, and she has been baking her whole life. So I started by taking some of her recipes and tweaking them. And my dad is a chemist. He actually invented the scrubbing bubbles with bleach products. So he's got he's brilliant. So I think I got some of both. The Italian wants to feed, like that's my love language. Feeding you is how I make friends. And taking his chemist side and having fun with the recipes, trying to create my own. And I did. I have no training except for the internet, which, you can learn anything these days. But yes, it started with my mom's recipes. And I still have one of her recipes. It's a salted caramel shortbread. And she used to send it to my sister, who was Air Force. She deployed like 13 times between her military career and afterwards as a contractor. And she used to send this shortbread overseas, and they would all fight over it. Oh, who was going to take Nona's shortbread? So nice. I have that on my menu. I have kind of tweaked it out a little bit and made it a little bit more extra. But that is in honor of my mom, who taught me everything that I know.
So you started the fellowship program. What were you hoping to get out of that? You talked a lot about going into what did you want to achieve?
Oh, man. Well, My husband applied for me. He basically forced me into it, and I wasn't sure that I was going to go through with it because I struggle with some pretty hardcore social anxiety. So I was like very much on the fence. I almost didn't show up to the first call. And it was a point in my life where we'd started a cookie company together, and it was local pickup and shipping only out of a shared kitchen. And we'd grown out of it pretty quickly, and we're trying to figure out what the next step was, but couldn't get past some of these big barriers of you need a business plan, you need funding, you need this, you need that. And it was all really scary for us. And we just, I went through the dog tag program, and it was every day. I was thrilled to learn, like they have some amazing teachers and curriculum. And I was just like shocked at all that they were offering me. And my goal going in was to figure out if I was going to take the next step with this company or if I was going to just be done with it, because it was that the barrier I couldn't get past. And that's exactly what happened. I learned everything I needed to learn. I figured out it really wasn't as hard as I was making it out to be or scary. And by the time I ended that program, I was sure that I wanted to still do it. And I had an idea of where I was going. And that's what I was looking for. So it was an amazing experience for me.
That's so cool.
Is there something else that you learned about yourself during that program that helped you achieve where you are today?
Yeah. So I didn't graduate from high school with everybody else in my class. I dropped out, and I ended up coming back for my GED like a year or two later. I suffered from major depression. My grades were failing. So I had it in my mind that I could not do school. And it was this story I'd been telling myself since I was 17 years old. And this was the first thing that I finished and did well at. And it really helped me realize the strength that I have that I don't realize, and that I can do much more than I think I can. So it was awesome to watch me grow from this terrified human who didn't want to talk to anybody to somebody who had to stand up and speak in front of people, and growing into a more confident, sure person who could be proud of, doing something like that.
That's pretty powerful. And by the way, even though you may think that you're shy, you're very powerful. We can see it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I wish our listeners could see what we see. We got to go on. We got to go on YouTube. We have to.
Yeah. You gotta know.
I don't know if you can see it, and I know we're an audio, but like I'm tearing up right now. It's funny. I've told Erin this. Like, I remember when Erin interviewed. I remember like in her living room what the background looked like, and she was shy and quiet and unsure, and then, I get to welcome her into the program, and then I get to be on the sidelines for that growth that she just described, and watch it and see it and experience it and know that we are creating the space and the curriculum, again, with great intention to nurture that. And I mean, Erin is just one story you're hearing here today, but there are so many. There are plenty of folks too who were like Erin, who came into the program and actually put their feet to the fire and wrote a business plan and said, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Like, I do not want that responsibility. This is a hobby, not a business. Right. And so we're there for that too. We're there to say, okay, cool. Now you have an answer. Right. So what do you want to do? Where do you want to take it from here? Right. And, one of my other favorite stories from the program, which just, doesn't really like line up with the numbers that we're always asked to produce. Sometimes we're asked to produce. How many entrepreneurs did you graduate? How many people went back to school? Right. We had a spouse come through the program who really had it in her head that she should be doing something more. She should have a job. She should have a business. She should have a different degree. Right. So she came to our program to figure out, what is it that I should be doing in addition to being a military spouse. And she went through all the things. She earned the certificate. She developed the business plan. But we do, part of our program is called Finding Your Voice, which is a theater-based course. Everybody has to go through the process of some self-discovery and developing a story of their own that they tell during the last week of the program. And she got up on that stage, and the story she told was she realized she doesn't need to be anything else than what she is, which was, really the CEO of her family and their military lifestyle, right? She was like, I am holding it down at home, and that is enough. And she's like, I feel more confident than I ever have in my whole life coming out of this program saying that is enough. And that to me is just as successful as what Erin has taken away from the program and launched a business. Confidence, to boldly proclaim like what your next step is and feel good about it and feel like you've got a community supporting you doing it.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So, Erin, one last for you. Can you tell us about Bravery Bakery and its theme? Where did that come from?
Yeah. So we needed to pivot after Kind Cookie Company, and we wanted to find a word that was ours, that meant something. So we spelled bravery with a O-R-Y instead of an E-R-Y. And it's sort of a mix of bravery and valor. And it is to highlight the unspoken, quiet strength of the military spouse mostly, but military connected, anyone who's supporting our heroes. And it's dedicated to our home front heroes, which is the military spouse. And it was a way for my husband and I to find service together. And it was a way for me to serve, as I always wanted to, but never had the chance, and give back. I love baking and feeding people, but this was a way to turn what I loved into something that, was a viable thing.
So, ladies, I have one final question for both of you. We are about to enter 2026. What do both of you have in store for the new year?
I was listening to a podcast with Ina Garten this week, who I admire. And she was just talking about how she really intentionally seeks joy in her life. And I don't really do New Year's resolutions, but I do think that will be a theme that I carry into 2026. It's just intentionally seeking joy and friendship, and finding new people with new interests. Dog Tag, as far as work goes for 2026, we are on track. We just this week sent out offers of admission to our next cohort, and they will start on January 13th. It's on track to be one of the largest cohorts that we've served. So that's exciting, but also a little nerve inducing, just because I got to figure out if that still works to be able to deliver, the one-on-one personal attention and the intimacy that we've been talking about for that personal development. While also genuinely trying to serve more people.
Excellent. Now, Erin, over to you. What does 2026 have in store for you? And if you have one, what's going to be your New Year's resolution?
I am in this stage of my life where I am just trying to give back, but find my place in the community and keep building the people that are my community, other like businesses that just want to serve. I want to inspire other businesses to not just be about the money, but to have a purpose and something that you care about that you can contribute towards. And I want to continue to face my fears of people and just find ways to just see what else I'm capable of, find ways to make a difference and find some balance. Balance would be nice, a little bit maybe. And just, keep climbing.
That's cool. Yeah. So Maureen and Erin, thanks so much for taking time. You're business people and for your double service because of all the things that you're doing. So thanks so much for joining us here on Army Matters.
Yeah, thank you. And for our listeners out there, if you want to learn more, go to dogtachinc.org or braverybakehouse.com and find these ladies and support their businesses.
Yeah, we're going to do some on-site tasting.
Come on down. We love it.
I got you guys. I'll send you some cookies. Just give me your address.
All right. No, we'll give you the address.
I'm not playing.
Don't worry. We're not either.
In many of this year's episodes, we've included a chapter spotlight, celebrating some of the great events our incredible chapters have put on. Well, there have been too many fantastic events and not enough episodes to highlight them all. So today, I'd like to quickly give a few shout-outs to events we missed. On July 23rd, the Central Texas chapter held a Wrenches to Wheels event at Fort Hood that found volunteers and soldiers helping build bikes and gain mentorship. On August 1st, the Captain Meriwether Lewis chapter partnered with Autism Works to have veterans and active duty soldiers attend the National Sports Collectors Convention and also created a quiet, relaxing space for them at the event. On August 27th, the Fort Leonard Wood Mid-Missouri chapter held its monthly Boots and Brew event, which involved lots of coffee and some great conversations. On September 12th, the Henry Leavenworth chapter hosted an obstacle training event in which its JROTC Raider cadets were visited by none other than AUSA President General Robert Brown. And on November 21st, the Henry Leavenworth chapter held another event, this one a food donation for military families to assist households with strained finances. Thanks to all of our chapters for organizing these great events, and for all of the individuals who volunteered their time and resources to aid them. We are all stronger because of you, and we look forward to a great 2026. If you or your chapter would like to be profiled on the show, please email us at podcast@ausa.org.
To all our listeners, thanks for joining us. AUSA's Army Matters podcast is brought to you by the Association of the United States Army, the U.S. Army's professional association, member-supported, Army Connected. Visit us at ausa.org for more information or to become a member. Your membership helps AUSA continue to carry out its mission, educate, inform, and connect with the total Army, our industry partners, and supporters of a strong national defense. Today's episode was hosted by Lieutenant General Retired Les Smith and SMA Retired Dan Dailey, and anchor hosted by Carrie Viral-Hackes. Anthony Del Call is the producer and writer, and Andy Bosnack is the associate producer and supervising sound editor. Ellen Toner is the content editor. Muzinga Curry is the executive producer, and the senior producers are Carrie Viral-Hackes and LaSharon Duncan. Be sure to subscribe to the Army Matters podcast wherever you find your podcasts, and please leave a review. As you know, we love seeing stars in the Army, especially if it comes in the form of a 5-star review. AUSA's Army Matters podcast can also be heard on Reefs Across America Radio on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the iHeartRadio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app with the search of the word Reef. For questions or to provide topic recommendations, email us at podcast@ausa.org. AUSA's Army Matters podcast primary purpose is to entertain. The podcast does not constitute advice or services. While guests are invited to listen, listeners, please note that you are not being provided professional advice from the podcast or the guest. The views and opinions of our guests do not necessarily reflect the views of AUSA. I'm LaSharon Duncan, hoping you have a great Army day. Hooah!